today for the computer update. Okay, so let's start with 4 weeks ago, I started talking to different companies in Bohol to purchase a computer. No one would guarantee less than 4 to 6 weeks for a delivery from Manila to Bohol. However, when I asked them if they had the product in Manila, they all said yes. But that was not the truth. The truth is, when they called their corporate stores in Manila, Manila had to call an additional supplier to get the computer to Manila. Could take 3 to 5 weeks. So a minimum of 6 to 10 or 11 weeks seemed to be reasonable based on what they said. So about 16 days ago, I started calling a company called VillMan, VillMann in Manila. Now, I spoke with their chat window. Eventually, I got to a customer service agent named Sir Jerome, and he assured me that he would call me back, but he never did that. And then I spoke with the chat window again, and he once again assured me that he would call back, and he never did that. So I asked Sir Jerome for an actual phone number to call him, and he gave me a number around the 7th of June, 2020. And we spoke for about 15 minutes, and he told me he was going to get this problem straightened out, and that he was going to call me back on or before probably the June 14th. He'd say give him a few days. So I did, and I got no messages from Sir Jerome. So on the 15th, I called up the number, or I opened up the chat window again. Now, you have to understand, in order to get through to Sir Jerome, I redialed, or if the phone wasn't set for that number, called that number about 200 times. So on the 15th, I called the chat window again. I opened it up, and I spoke with a woman named Christine, who gave me her telephone number. And when I called it, she answered the phone, and she assured me she would get back to me by the 16th, and that she would have that problem solved. Well, Christine never called back either. So I started pushing redial and leaving messages on the chat box to have someone call me, or at least leave a message. Now, today is the 20th of June, and no one called back. So I went back on the chat window this morning, and I said to them, do you want to sell computers or not? And I got another person, supposedly a more supervisory position, and Scott Del Fuego. I have Amazon coming up next, Scott. As soon as I'm done discussing my 20 hours of chat and phone calls, and then 3 hours today with Amazon. So Scott Del Fuego, just please wait. Scott says he's on his patio with a Michelob, a a cigar, and a Montelli. I saw my friend and mentor in the world of unexplained. Oh, we have some unexplaining to do. Pop up. Here I am to enjoy the show. Thank you, Scott. Thank you very much. And Scott Del Fuego gave me an excellent suggestion yesterday that led to another dead end. So let me finish with VillMan, and then I'll tell you the complications to get a computer from Amazon is possible. So this morning I spoke, I'm not going to mention all the people's, well, I guess I could. I have it written down in my notes here. So let's go to my Asus notes. So Let's see if that lady said her name. No, she did not. She did not leave her name. Okay, so I spoke with a woman this morning, first thing at like 10 a.m. when they opened. And this woman asked me to review the complications I had up until today, starting at around June 4th. So we have about 40 chats back and forth. And I explained what I wanted a little bit. She said, can you give me more details? So I asked the lady for a phone number. I think I was talking to a computer, actually. So eventually it seemed to be a real person. And they said, Michael, because that's what they have my name listed as. We would like to apologize and blah, blah, blah. We suggest that you write down all the details. Now, I just told the lady the details. The details. We suggest you give us all. So I said, no, please put a human being on the phone. So, or at least in the chat. So I got a human, I think. And then I said to her, I've been trying to purchase a computer through VillMan computers since June 4th. Yes, sir. How can we help you? I said, well, why don't you read the chat? And her reply was, can you just explain your situation again? And I said, no, I cannot do that. It's all in the chat, and they all have a copy of the chat since the beginning. So a few minutes went by, and this woman gave me 2 more numbers for Miss Gladys and a Sir Benedict. So I called those numbers, and those numbers were also busy. So I went back to the chat to speak with whomever I was speaking with, and I'm pretty sure it was the same person came on, and then she apologized for the fact that the numbers were busy. So at this point, I would say that I have 200 phone calls pushing redial and sometimes entering different numbers for VillMan. And I am no further closer to purchasing a computer through VillMan than I was the day I made the first chat. And I don't know why it is like that, but apparently that company, I asked them directly, do you sell computers or not? And the answer was, yes, we do. I said, well, why don't you put somebody on the phone that can sell me a computer? And the reply was, due to COVID-19, in the chat window, due to COVID-19, we're working at a diminished staff, and we will have to get back with you. So basically, I just said, well, I'm going to give up on your store. Now, between June 4th and today, I contacted one store in the BQ Mall who cannot get the computer and guarantee me a delivery date. So digressing back to VillMan computers, you're not going to get somebody to answer the phone. And then the 2 people that I did speak with in person, Sir Jerome and Miss Chris, they didn't do. Like, both said they would have the issue resolved within, well, Sir Jerome within 6 days, and Christine within a day. They didn't do that. Okay, so moving forward, I called BQ Mall. I went to BQ Mall, and then I spoke with the rep there, and they want 100,000 pesos for a deposit. And I had no guarantee to the delivery date. They will not guarantee me that they will give me back my money after 30 days. So I said, well, I choose not to do business like that. So I went right over to the ICM Mall, and there were 2 stores there that could order the computer, but the man that I was speaking with, named Christian, who I spoke with since May 28th, well, when I got there around the 12th of June, may I speak with Christian? He's out to lunch. Come back after lunch. So after lunch, I went back and I asked the woman where Christian was, and she said, he's not here, sir. Can I help you? I said, well, I've been multiple times. I've been to the store. I've been talking with Christian. I'd like him to be my representative here. Sir, he no longer works here. But I didn't get that answer from that girl. I had to get the manager. So the manager explained to me that Christian no longer works there. At which point, she was aware that I wanted to order a computer, the manager, and she's very nice. And she said, well, what we need to do is we need to get a deposit from you. And I said, well, I already spoke with Christian about that. He said the computer's available in Manila. Yes, sir. Can you call up Manila to the manager, I say, and make sure that it's available? Yes, sir. So I said, if it is, this was on like around June 12th, if it is available, I will go to Manila, because at that time, I thought I could go to Manila. And probably something else I should discuss with you is this GCQ lockdown and the ECQ lockdown, and what those two things mean. Basically, they mean I can't go to Manila. We are in the Asus store in ICM. She explained to me, yes, sir, we have that computer in stock. At this time, I didn't know I couldn't go to Manila. So I said, well, ask them to put it on the counter and to take a picture of it and to give me the serial number off of it. And I will go to Manila. I would have went the next day. Yes, sir. So she called we can get that computer for your client, but we will have to order it from our supplier, which will take 3 to 5 weeks. So we're already looking from Manila to Bohol 4 to 6 weeks, and then 3 to 5 weeks to Manila. So just go in the middle somewhere, go 5 and 5, that's 10 weeks, but no guarantee. So I asked the manager, will you guarantee that I will get my money back after 30 days if you don't have the computer on your desk? No, sir. We don't work like that. I said, thank you. I've been doing business with them for years, so I know this lady. She's very nice, and she tries to be the best, corporate representative that she can be. So none of this is her fault. It is all based on the slow-moving parts because of this COVID-19 virus. So I went to another store. I had already spoken with another store, and that woman was supposed to call me back somewhere around the 12th, but I had probably spoken with her on the 7th of June when I went in to see Christian, and or thereabouts. I had gone into the city 3 times that week. And she assured me that she could get the computer. So I said, okay. Ask them to put the computer on the desk and send me a picture with the model and serial number. So she called up, and she explained to me that it would be 3 to 5 weeks to get it to their corporate headquarters in Manila, and then 4 to 6 weeks to get it to Bohol. And of course, I would need to give them 100,000 peso deposit. So the one thing that you should understand in the Philippines, it's just not good to give people large deposits, because if things don't flow the way they promise you that they will flow, you could have complications getting your money back. I've never done it, so I can't say for sure, but pretty much it's an unspoken rule not to give people large deposits in the Philippines, because it seems to be there's always a complication. So with that, I left the store, and I came back on probably the 17th of June, and I spoke with the woman again, and she said, good morning, and we said hello. And I said, can you find out if you will guarantee me that you will give me back my money on the 30th day from the time I hand you the money, which would have been that day? Yes, sir, we can do that. Okay, put it in writing. So she goes into the office and she disappears. She's gone. So I talk with the reps there that sell her the stuff. And eventually, after about 7 minutes, I walked into the office to see the lady, and somebody else was on the phone calling their corporate office. So I said, what is that lady doing? Is she calling to get permission to give me back my money? And she said, yes, sir. And I said, but you and I just had an agreement that you would write it down. Yes, sir. Can you do it or can you not do it? We have to wait, sir. So I didn't really feel like waiting. So you got to remember, I want to go home. I've already been in the city for 7 hours. So I didn't order the computer, and I never found out if they could guarantee my money back. So I went back to VillMan, and that didn't work out, as I just explained. So Scott Del Fuego, thank you very much, Scott. You you beat my morning up pretty good this morning. So I got right on the computer after Scott Del Fuego gave me the idea to order it from Amazon. So I'm going to read you some stuff off the Amazon website. You're not going to believe how complicated this is. Now, once before, I went through ordering a computer. It wasn't through Amazon, but it was from America. It was from a company called Newegg, Newegg, who will definitely have the computer within 3 weeks. However, I will read you the same complicated word salad that Newegg has posted on their website. It's not their website per se. It's importing into the Philippines website. So I'm going to read that as soon as I get my glasses up off the floor. I'm going to read that to you, and you're going to find this really interesting, what you have to do to get a computer to come to you in the Philippines. So before I even go to the website and read it, probably you should stop watching this video, because you're not going to do what it requires you to do. So let's get over to the Asus.com web chat. All right, so let's see, where were we? It's not that one. Is it this one? It's not this one. All right, yeah, Amazon. I'm going to give you the link right now. Copying the link, and I'm going to post it 3 times. Let's get that. It's right next to VillMan. Let's get that in the chat window. Chi Corsair, hello. Welcome to the machine, Chi. I'm going through a little process that I've been going through for to load in there. Okay, we got it. Well, anyway, but I'm going to read this. Once you read this word salad that they have here, so I will show this to you so that you can see. It says customs, duties, and taxes, and there is the link at the top there. Okay, so I will read you this word salad they have. It doesn't make any sense, but I can make sense of it, because a few months back I went through the process that's going to be explained at the end of this word salad. So we have about customs, duties, and taxes for shipping and delivery / international shipping. So the first paragraph is, when ordering from Amazon.com, you are responsible for assuring the product can be lawfully imported to the destination. So in brief, once before, when I tried to get a computer delivered to the Philippines, the bottom line is you have to call up a customs house in Cebu, which is on a different island than I'm on, and that has the ECQ lockdown. But if it didn't, you have to call a customs broker. a customs house and they'll give you a representative to be your broker. I don't need my glasses to read this. I remember this scenario quite well. So what needs to be done is somehow, in order to get your computer, it has to go to a customs brokerage house in Cebu. And you have to supply them with an original receipt with the Wi-Fi code on the receipt. So wherever you buy the computer from, the Wi-Fi code for the computer itself has to be on the receipt. Now, I'm not reading this. I remember what I did. See, with the code on it. But let's say you could do that. So the computer would go to a customs brokerage house in Cebu, at which point, when you had this receipt, you would go there. Now, in order to find the name of a customs brokerage house in Cebu that would be accepting a computer from another country, I probably spent 3 hours, maybe 4, and possibly 5 hours on the phone getting exact directions as to what to do from each preceding number, and then finding out that they couldn't perform the task at hand. Eventually, I got to a brokerage house in Cebu, and I spoke with a man that assured me this is his job. He understands how to get the job done. Okay, so he explained the receipt with the Wi-Fi code on it, and then he explained to me in order to pick up the computer, I would have to bring my tax identification number, which I have for my business here. And it would help if I had an NBI clearance to do business in the Philippines, and I have that also. So upon the delivery of the computer to that customs brokerage house in Cebu, I would need travel to the customs brokerage house and give them the receipt, at which point they would determine how much import fees and customs fees for the import of the computer itself would be needed to pay, in addition to whatever the computer cost. However, the computer, both from that company, the original company that I wanted to order it from in May, and Amazon.com, I will show you the website for that. But each company, respectively, charges 33% import fees through the original company that I first tried, and Amazon.com now, which I work with today. So a $3,000 computer with shipping became $4,127. I think it was somewhere around there. But that doesn't cover the customs fees in Cebu. So that, I'll read that part. The customs fees in Cebu are determined by the customs brokerage house. And they're not determined until the computer is in their hand and they can look up the number of the receipt with the Wi-Fi code on it. So let me read that to you. What the law for the Philippines is. So this, again, it says, the recipient, that would be me, is the importer of the record and must comply with all laws and regulations of the destination, the Philippines. Orders shipped outside the United States may be subject to import fees, customs duties, and fees levied by the destination country. Be subject to such import taxes, customs duties, and fees which are levied once a shipment reaches the recipient's country. So you don't find out what the levied fees and customs brokerage costs are until the package sets on the count of that sentence. Next sentence. Additional charges for customs clearance must be fulfilled by the recipient. Period. Amazon has no control over these charges, nor can Amazon predict what they must be. So Amazon charged $1,028 for import fees for their end of the process. Additional information on shipping do you find this page. Next paragraph. Customs policies vary widely. You should contact your local customs office for more information. Period. When customs clearance procedures are required, it can cause delays beyond our original delivery estimates. Now, it goes on briefly. Customs offices in some countries or regions require the importer of record to provide a particular form of identification before releasing the shipment. You may be required to provide an identification number, such as a unique identification number, a 3-letter identification number, Charlie Papa France, or a tax ID. And I was also told my NBI clearance would work with and in conjunction with the tax ID. You cannot go to the office without a tax ID. And if you have a driver's license, it helps a lot. You go to the tax office, you get a number, and I would say you wait online. And typically, if the person that gives out the tax numbers in the office, you can get it done in one day. When I went that particular day, the lady was on vacation, or she was doing some sort of schooling that had to do with taxes for her tax office. So I had to go back a second day. And that's free. There's no pesos for that. The NBI clearance is 130 pesos, or it was, last June. So that NBI clearance, you give them full set of fingerprints, by the way. And they put that through Scotland Yard. That goes through Scotland Yard. So they go through your background when you get those fingerprints done. So now I'm going to turn this around. Then it says, was this information helpful? Well, the answer to that question is no, because this information is confusing. Yep. I don't like this policy. That's their policy, so you really can't say much about that. This isn't the information I was looking for. So we have, you can only choose one. This information is confusing or wrong. Submit. So now let's go to the Asus ZenBook Pro Duo, and I will show you. That's the warranty. The warranty from Asus. The warranty for that computer. All right, so now you have $4,027 invested into the computer. The warranty is good for 1 year from Amazon. However, you are responsible to ship it back to the selling agent in America, unless the global warranty is valid. However, when you push the link for the global warranty, it tells you that this information is not available. Go to the Asus website for more information. So when you go to the Asus website for more information and you click global warranty, it tells you this information is not available at this time. So basically, the warranty that you purchase that comes with the computer for 1 year is valid if you ship the product back to America. That's what it says. However, you can get an extended warranty through Amazon, but the product still has to be shipped back to America. So it takes 4 to 6 weeks to go to America. So you're looking at 12 weeks that you won't have a computer. If the computer came and didn't work that day, if you could figure that out somehow, because it takes a week sometimes to find a bug in the computer, you might be, then you would go back from Cebu to Bohol, find the bug, and then get back, then go to a store and ship it back to America. So 12 weeks later, you would have your computer back. Now, the problem, an additional problem, this is just an additional problem, and then I will show you how the sale of the computer itself through Amazon. I might as well do that first. Okay. I'll show you their price for the computer, and then I'll show you the shipping. And then I'm going to show you something called details under the shipping. So basically, this is the i7 is not available. So they only have the i9, and that's $3,000. Plus, I was wrong. It's not 1,027. It's 1,098. 1,027 was a different, was the i7 that they don't have. But they have a website with their prices, but they don't have the unit. So I will show you this, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. That is the i9, as you can see on the top, with the i9 core, right centered in the screen right now. 59 unanswered questions. 4 of those questions have to do with warranties. Nobody whose warranted questions were asked in those 59 answered questions, not a single person was happy with the answer. So that's just not a viable place to find an answer. So then in the center, again, you see $3,000 plus $1,098.60 shipping and import fees, deposit to the Philippines. So see the word deposit? That means that's the deposit for the shipping and import fees. But there's going to be more shipping and import fees of an undetermined amount. There's no way to determine that till the computer comes to the desk of the customs broker. So, okay, so we got that. Now we're going to click on details. So it shows you the details right here. You click that to $4,100. But I will tell you that $4,097 is not the total price. Because in order to get to the customs broker's house by ship, round trip, it's approximately, it depends. If you go aircon, it's 1,600, it's 1,700 pesos. So it's $20 round trip. In addition to that, to get to the customs broker's house, about 150 pesos to the house. Now, you're probably going to have to wait a day for the customs broker to clear the product after you give them the receipt. So you need a hotel, another, say, 1,500 pesos. So you have 1,000 for travel, 1,500 pesos for the hotel and foods. So just figure 3,000 pesos for the food and travel, plus the import fees and the customs broker's fees, which are not included in the $1,097. However, they don't have to release it in 24 hours. And there's no guarantee that the man was very clear. He goes, it could take up to 72 hours to clear your product. And if you don't have all that information on the receipt, you're just not going to get the computer. And he was trying to help me more than anybody else. He said, sir, it would be in your best interest if you purchased a computer in the Philippines, because we have a man that had a computer delivered last September. Apparently this doesn't happen a lot. But so that was already over a year, and the person still was unable to pick up his in the hospital. And let's see, what other details did I give? The Asus Repair Center in Bohol. And I know the lady there, it's a sweetheart. And she gave me the name of 4 stores, 3 of which I had already gone to. And there's one more. And I know the man in the 4th store in the Galaris Mall. I've been buying little things from him for years. But he just runs a little shop. It might be a viable outlet, but at this point, no. So I said something before about the ECQ rules and the GC. I will let me open that up. This is, whoa. You want to see what traveling is like in the Philippines? Just wait a minute. Just wait 1 minute. Let's see if we can find that page. I have it up here. ECU, where is it? Here it is. ECU and GCU. ECU and GCU. So Echo, Charlie, Quebec, and Golf, Charlie, Quebec. So Echo, Charlie, Quebec is what's in effect in Cebu right now, today, until the end of the month. It's a little complicated, and I can't go to Cebu. I'm not allowed to go to Cebu. So I'll show you what it looks like, and I'm going to give you that site. First, let me give you the link for that site so you can go there and follow along with me if you choose to. Let me go back to my page. Hello, Expat Prepper. Yeah, Expat Prepper, I'm describing the complications to try to buy a computer in the Philippines. So I'm not going to get involved too much with the chat, but thank you very much for stopping by, Expat Prep. You should watch this and see what complications I've had so far. So ECQ, Echo Charlie, Quebec, is in effect in Cebu today until the end of the month. So let's turn this camera around again, and let's go here. So this is the site. I pushed the wrong button. This is the site right there. So the screen keeps moving across the screen automatically. I'm not pushing the button. So the way to stop that is there are 10 little dots or 12 little dots at the bottom here where my cursor is. Press the first dot, and that brings you back to the Enhanced Community Quarantine and General Community Quarantine Guidelines. That's the ECQ and the GCQ. So that's the first page. So now we'll go to the second page, and it gives you a description. Not allowed to go out. Persons below 21 years old, persons 60 years old and above. So I can't go to Cebu. If I did, then you press these additional dots and it gives you what you can do and what you can't do. So I'll give you a synopsis. Under the ECQ, if I wanted to go out to purchase a computer, that's a non-essential, non-health related item. I would not be allowed to go to a computer store and look for a computer, according to the rest of the dots at the bottom of the page. So if you're under ECQ lockdown, which Cebu is, you can go out to buy food, you can go out to go to directly to a doctor or a hospital, or you can go out for medication if you're above 60 years old or below 21. But anything besides those 3 things that I mentioned for men are not allowed. So if you were a pregnant woman, you could go for doctor care. And then if you, in addition to that, if you reside with a person younger than 21 or older than 60, you are not allowed to go out as well. So that's the ECQ. So how you get to the GCQ is just go over to the right and grab the scroll bar. and scroll down, and now you're going to have the rules for the GCQ. So we're going to press the first dot in the GCQ guidelines. So press the first dot, minimum public health standards with the GCQ. Now, the second dot, I think, is the one that gives you the information I'm looking for. And this gives you 12 dots worth of information. So I gave you the link. You can research it yourself. So the third dot, dot three dots. Let's see. Okay. Not allowed to go out. Persons below 21. This is the same thing for the GCQ. Persons over 60. Those with medical complications. Oh, pregnant women are not allowed to go out. Oh, I misread the first one. Pregnant women are not allowed to go out. I guess unless you have to go to the hospital. Okay, or any person that resides with a pregnant woman, someone under the age of 21 or over 60. So traveling to Cebu, even if I called up the store, get on a boat, and I could find a place to live, and I could buy food, but I wouldn't be allowed to go to a computer store. That's what I read. If someone else wants to correct me, or if I made a mistake. But a computer I don't think a computer would be an essential item. Food is essential, medicine is essential, doctor or hospital care is essential. But anything more than that, not allowed. So, as a last resort, I could go to Manila, but I can't. All I can do when I get to Manila, under the GCQ, the relaxed guidelines for the GCQ, when I get to Manila, I can go there and find a place to live. Although in both sets of regulations, it did say that hotels were closed. So, not knowing my way around, certainly Manila, I don't know what I would do when I got there. I don't know if I could find a place to live. I don't know. But I will tell you it doesn't matter, because each company that said they have the computer in stock, even if I could get to the store to give them money, it's still 3 to 5 weeks. So let's say I left to go to Manila on June 21st. I would get there June 21st. That would cost about 9,000 pesos, $200 round trip. However, I would have to stay in quarantine for 14 days. Then I would only be able to go out to get essential goods. And if they ended the lockdown on the 30th, then I could go out and give them the deposit for the computer. And then I could wait in Manila for 3 to 5 weeks. I'm at a loss of words here. And basically, I would just say that the virus is causing a lot of complications, and that commerce itself seems to be at a standstill, because no one can get that computer on a desk in Bohol. No computer store will order the computer without giving them 100,000 peso deposit, and no computer store will guarantee that a delivery date. So the one place that guarantees a delivery date, 2 places, is Newegg, guarantees a delivery date of July, not June, July 27th. So that's 37 days from now. They guarantee you a delivery date. Whatever that guaranteed delivery date means, that means that it should be there by July 27th. So it could be 37 days. And Amazon.com also guarantees you July 27th. That was as of yesterday, so I would imagine it could be the same day or a few more days now, because they have, the way it goes is whatever process Newegg is using, I'm sure Amazon is using the same process because it's shipped via air. So, and that again, both of those products go to Cebu, where the ECQ is in place. So if I went to Cebu and the product showed up and they reinstated ECQ, I wouldn't be able to go to the store to pick it up. I guess I would have to give a stranger couple hundred, 100,000 pesos to pick it up. And just here, take this 100,000 pesos and go to the customs brokerage house, please, and pick this up for me. I guess that's how it would work. I'm not real sure. But right now, what I am sure of is that based on the information that I've worked with for the last, now it's going on May 28th, so today's the 20th, so it's 3 weeks, 22 days, 21, 22, 23 days, 23 days. This is what I came up with in 23 days. And 300 plus phone calls, redial, and we have Sir Jerome's telephone number, Miss Christine's telephone number. We have Miss Gladys' phone number, and we have Sir Benedict's phone number. And then I forgot one representative for VillMan. So those are all VillMan phone numbers. But none of those phone numbers work. Of the 300 times I pushed redial or called those numbers, twice someone answered the phone. Twice the VillMan representative said, Michael, we'll have this problem solved for you. Christine said 1 day, and Sir Jerome said 6 days from the time I called. And neither one of them ever called me back or resolved the issue. So there you go. More fun in the Philippines, baby. More fun in the Philippines. So I feel much better now. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And the stores, just give us 100,000 pesos and we'll have it in 4 to 6 weeks. But when you ask them again, I'm going to reiterate, when you ask them again, when can I tell them to call up their supplier in Manila? It's an additional 3 to 5 weeks. So we're looking at 10 to 12 weeks. If I gave them the money for the computer, it would be 10 or 11 weeks. And then if the computer doesn't work, well, then it goes back. And then it'll be another 10 weeks. So what's 20 weeks from now, from June? I would have the computer by Thanksgiving. Yeah, baby. I'll be in the Philippines. I'll go to my questions and answers. If you have questions and answers about shipping stuff, I'll try to help you out with that. Yeah, I did, Scott. I tried Asus.com. What happens on that website is they simply, I even have that up on the board somewhere. Here it is right here. I'll show you. I'll flip this around and I will show you. The Asus.com website is my second link up at the top here. You can see it says Asus.com. Okay. And then I did this already. I sent them, it's all this site brings you to is, all the site brings you to is a website that gives you, oh, this one's even more fun if I could find that website. I can't. It's in my history. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, here it is, Asus.com. It's in my history here. Website information. Was that it? Let's see. This might be it, but I've been to that website. That is probably the trippiest website I've ever been. Here we are. We are here. Yep, we are here. It gives you the names of the stores. All right, so if you go here for this, that was the Asus website information. What would happen? It gives you, let's just say, what you can't do is you can't see their phone numbers. Scott Del Fuego, this is beyond understanding. It's reduced the pay. Now the telephone numbers disappear. All right. Now the slide over here and drag it out. Right. You're going to tell me to drag it out. So I think I just saw the numbers by dragging it in, which goes against common sense. I can't see the numbers. And if I dragged it in slowly, a glitch in the system. They gave me the phone numbers for a second. There it is. Now it gives you the preface of the phone number. Now all you have to do is guess the last 6. Let's see if we can expand it. And nope. As soon as you expand it, no, you can't see the last number. Here's one. You could see 2073. But I can't call this number. These are long-distance numbers, and it costs 16 cents a minute to call these numbers. And all you're going to get is somebody that tells you, all right, so yeah, you can get some of the numbers some of the times, but you can't get all of the numbers all of the times, baby. That's not possible. So we have a new saying here in the Philippines. You can get some of the numbers some of the times, but you can't get all the numbers all the times. And that's the same for the whole site. So I did that this morning. I never tried pushing it in. Boy, I can get 10 out of 11 numbers almost every time. You can get some of the numbers some of the time. Wow. Oh, look at that. Well, we got that. Oh, nope. Then they disappeared. Okay. Some of the numbers, as soon as you let go of that bar, let's see what happens here. Nope, that ain't gonna happen. Okay, so this was a phone number for Miss Gladys that I spoke about. This is the number I got from VillMan, and then I also spoke in the beginning of the video for Sir Benedict. I called both of these numbers, and no one answers any of the numbers that you see before your screen. And the 917 that ends in 1161, no one ever answers that number, ever. Even though it's a valid number, and every time you dial it, redial 50 or 60 times, the green number, every 50 or 60 times it rings, but no one answers. And then one day, I was on the Skype with Warren, and I called this number, and this is Sir Jerome's number. And one day I dialed it once, and Sir Jerome answered, and that was June 14th. But he assured me he was going to fix everything, but he didn't fix anything. He never got back to me, and he never got me any information. So there you go. More fun in the Philippines. That's why they say it's more fun in the Philippines, baby. All right, so we have Blue Rose is in the house. Did I see Blue Rose in the house? No, I don't see a comment by Blue Rose. Okay. Cebu has more okay. On the bottom, okay, yeah. Scott says on the bottom it says place an order, cash on delivery. Really? We'll have to try that next. Yeah, that'd be okay. Let me go back there and see what happens. Cash on, let's go back. Let's explore. So wait, cash on delivery, Scott, from where? From Amazon? Scott Del Fuego? Is it cash on delivery from Amazon? Because that's still... Oh. I'll wait for Scott's reply. Let's see. Let's go back. So on that website for the Asus.com, it gives you in alphabetical order. Actually, it's quite a bit of telephone numbers. It gives you 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so, and figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gives you 70 addresses. I guess you could look up each one of these individually, but I've looked up 4 of those places individually now. Four of those places, none of them have the computer. Okay, so Scott gave me a link. Let's go to that link. Yeah, baby. So this is more fun at this point than I don't believe that I'm going to get a computer today, but I will check that out. So Asus Philippine store. Okay, so I'm clicking that link. And Blue Rose, okay, so let's go to the Asus Philippines store. Book Duo series. Where are we here? Oh boy. Where is this? Okay, Asus Philippines store. Okay, it's loading. Still loading. It's a little slow today. We had a storm here this morning. It was nice. I love storms. But it really came down really hard. That's how much water was in a 1-gallon bucket. An inch in the same for the 5-gallon buckets. Not that I wasn't saving it. Typically, I put the buckets upside down so the mosquitoes don't lay mosquito larvae in there. But last night I forgot. It's still loading that website, Scott. I don't know why it's still loading it. So, and this is common now for and it happened so much, but it happened researching this Asus stuff. Two sites that were supposed to have something regarding Asus computers just had the name of the Asus computer sales and then nothing, a blank page. So looks like it's happening again. What I'll do is it's not going so easy. Alright, let's see what happens. So if I refresh the page, nothing happens. Take that slash out of there. Well, I can't get my mouse to work now. remember this page. Zen Power. Yep, I've been here. All right, let's say we picked this one here. I clicked it. Oh, and this little gold seal that says 2-year global policy, it does not mean you can use a globe. What it means is that the global warranty is good for any part in the computer. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that if you buy it in America, you can use the warranty in the Philippines or vice versa. A global warranty from Asus means any product, any part of the. It does not mean that you can fix it anywhere you buy it. Just so those, for the people that have a question, it says global warranty. Yes, it does. And that's why they put the word global warranty on there.